Welcome back to Motovision 360. Today, Kawasaki has finally done what fans have been waiting for. The all-new 2026 Kawasaki W230 ABS is officially launched, and it brings back that classic soul with modern confidence. This is the first look at a machine built to blend heritage with fresh engineering. From the moment it rolled onto the stage, it felt like Kawasaki wasn't just launching a bike. They were reviving an attitude, a retro icon reborn with safer, sharper, more refined performance. And the biggest excitement is how surprisingly premium this 230cc classic now feels. Let's break it down. For years, Kawasaki's W series has been all about nostalgia. That old-school, British-inspired charm wrapped in Japanese reliability. Fans loved it because it didn't try to be overly futuristic. It simply delivered a clean, pure riding feel. But one thing always held the lineup back in markets like ours. The smaller displacement, models needed an upgrade that kept the charm but added confidence. Riders wanted ABS, a better-tuned engine, more responsive handling, and something that felt updated without losing the retro heartbeat. That's exactly where the 2026 W230 ABS steps in. Kawasaki has studied the demand carefully. They knew this segment was exploding with riders who wanted an affordable classic that didn't feel outdated. They wanted a bike that could handle daily use, weekend rides, traffic, and touring with the same calm attitude. So Kawasaki didn't overcomplicate anything. They took their well-loved W design, refined the proportions, tightened the lines, enhanced the safety package, and introduced an engine tuned for smooth, predictable torque. It's still unmistakably a W series machine, but now it's finally equipped for modern expectations. This launch marks a new chapter for riders who love simplicity, but refuse to compromise on essentials. Now let's talk about what pushes the excitement forward. The heart of the W30 is a responsive 230cc air-cooled single-cylinder engine designed for durability and effortless torque. It's not meant to break speed records. It's meant to give that satisfying pull at low and mid-range, perfect for city riding or relaxed cruising. The addition of ABS for the first time in this class changes everything. It brings a layer of control that makes the ride safer in sudden braking, wet conditions, or unpredictable traffic. The retro design has been sharpened with better finishing on the tank, tighter fitment lines, and a more premium stance. The chrome detailing sits cleaner. The seat looks more supportive, and the riding triangle is tuned for comfort on long routes. The exhaust note gives a gentle thump that matches the old-school personality. Kawasaki also upgraded the cluster with clearer visibility and better night contrast. Without losing the analog charm, small improvements add up. The suspension feels more stable. The geometry aids better maneuvering, and the bike finally looks like something designed for 2026, while respecting its past. And here comes the real moment where the W230 ABS 2026 proves why this launch matters. Kawasaki positioned this bike not as a basic commuter, but as an emotional machine. When they unveiled the ABS system, the crowd reaction was instant. This single feature elevates the W230 from nostalgic hobby bike to an everyday, confident, practical choice. It signals that Kawasaki is listening and evolving. The riding experience now promises more trust at higher speeds and sudden stops, making it far more welcoming to new riders and far more enjoyable for experienced ones. Add the tuned suspension and refined engine response, and the W230 becomes a retro that finally feels rounded. No unnecessary electronics, no distractions, just the right upgrades. The design keeps the vintage soul alive but feels cleaner and more mature. This is the peak of what riders hoped for, a classic that isn't trapped in the past. And that's why this launch hits so strongly. Kawasaki didn't reinvent the segment. They simply perfected what fans were already loyal to. But here's the twist that keeps this bike interesting. In a market overflowing with aggressive, futuristic designs, the W230 ABS stands out by going the opposite direction. It grabs attention not through overwhelming power or flashy tech, but through personality. Riders don't just look at it, they connect with it. That emotional pull is rare today, and Kawasaki knows it. This bike isn't just launched, it's positioned to become a new favorite among riders who value experience over speed and character over complexity. And that's why the W230 ABS deserves a closer look. The impact of this launch will be felt across the retro segment immediately. Kawasaki has essentially told the market that classic bikes can still evolve without betraying their heritage. For younger riders entering the scene, the W230 ABS is a chance to experience a timeless style without sacrificing safety or comfort. For older riders who remember when bikes were simpler, this is a return to what they love with new reliability. Competitors will need to adjust, especially those ignoring safety features or cutting corners on build quality. This bike raises expectations. It's also a strong alternative for riders who want something lighter, more manageable, and more economical than the larger W800 or 650cc machines. Kawasaki didn't build a replica of the past. They built a bridge between generations, a bike that feels familiar yet refreshed, simple yet refined, focused yet versatile. And that balanced approach is what gives the W230 ABS real staying power. In the coming months, you'll see discussions, reviews, and comparisons flooding the motorcycle community. Some will praise the retro styling, others will analyze the performance numbers. But the general reaction is already clear. People are glad Kawasaki finally brought ABS into this category. Riders now have a solid machine that feels premium without being overpriced or overdesigned. Expect the W230 to attract not just retro fans, but also commuters, weekend tours, and younger riders looking for their first proper bike. The aftermarket scene will also wake up quickly. Seats, handlebars, bags, exhaust options, retro accessories, all will start rolling out. The bike has that customizable energy which always boosts community involvement. And as more riders test it, the conversation will shift from finally launched to finally a solid option in this E-segment. It's a bike built to grow on people, not overwhelm them. And that slow, steady influence is often what creates long-term classics. This was your first look at the 2026 Kawasaki W230 ABS, a retro reborn with modern confidence. If you enjoy machines that carry history with fresh energy, this one deserves your attention. Stay tuned for more deep dives, comparisons, and first ride impressions only on MotoVision 360.